I'd like to invite the next speaker on the stage, Mr. Shekhar, the Practice Director for Data Center Consulting Services at Dell India, to speak about their DC practice. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, and good evening to all of you. Okay, I will keep my session very short, and I want to thank Rohan for his insights, Hemant and Chensang for his insights about data center. In India, I want to introduce this practice to all of you. All of you know that the data center practice in India is very mature, and the kind of skills me and my team carry, which can help you in designing and implementing your data centers. Okay, like Chensang said, for Dell, we started this practice around 4 years ago, at the same time in India as well. And from then on, we have built a very large competent team, which has engagement officials, which has solution architecting team, which has a very experienced and certified delivery team as well. Right? The certifications that we carry, which is required for some of the customers of Dell who want to get an Uptime Institute certification or a TIA certification, or some of them even talk about lead certifications as well. So we carry most of these certifications with us with experienced set of solution architects who can help you in designing. So can I ask how many of your data centers are certified today, either with Uptime or with TIA? From anybody here? Any of your data center is certified? Not one? Yes, sir. Kindly speak about your data center. ISO. Pardon my ignorance, ISO may not be a global standard for data center. It probably, as far as I know, it is Uptime Institute and TIA. We talk about tier 1 to tier 4 levels of certification. This probably can become a very demanding factor in future, that your data centers comply to global standards, so that when you attract global customers inside your facility, they will measure the SLA that you are promising them in terms of kind of infrastructure that you are willing to offer, right? So as part of this practice, we offer the audit services. Why I have kept the audit services in the topmost bullet point is that, India now, as I said, is a very mature practice. We have data centers in India which is as old as 10, 15 years old, right? And most of them are not able to meet the kind of demand that IT has started generating. When I started building data centers, if any customer tells me, Shekhar, I want to build a 3 kilowatt per rack data center, I would be most interested to work with them, because I was very interested to know what kind of IT equipment will generate 3 kilowatt per rack. Today, the equipments can go up to maximum of even 20 or even 35 kilowatts per rack. Then the challenging becomes, how do I provide the air conditioning in the smallest footprint possible? How do I provide the kind of power that is required for such kind of equipments to work, right? So if you ask me, on a lighter note, I would like to change the name of air conditioning industry into a heat removal industry. How many of you agree with me? Right? It's no more trying to provide cooling. It is all about trying to remove the heat from within the data center and throw it out into the outside ambient. So I would probably want to rename the air conditioning industry into a heat removal industry. We're trying to remove heat that is being generated. And heat is a very interesting topic. What are the 3 parameters what you think is very important in air conditioning? Any one of you. Welcome you to make this a very interactive session. Air conditioning, what is the most important factor in air conditioning? Cooling, temperature, all of us agree on that? I will probably disagree with you. Sorry?
Isolation of your hot and cold. If you let them land up mixing, the cooling is not going to be as efficient.
Okay. Airflow. I agree with this gentleman here, Rohan. I absolutely agree with him. I probably will give lesser importance to temperature and give more preference to airflow. You know why? Companies like Dell manufacture fresh air products or 12G servers, right? These things, these equipments can actually work in ambient temperature. They can tolerate temperature up to 44 degrees, continuous operation. And Dell will provide the warranty support for such kind of installation. So one such installation is in eBay, where throughout the year in Arizona is a desert. Throughout the year, the entire modular containerized data center is working on fresh air. So the PUE of that data center should be what? When you don't use air conditioning, what should be the PUE? Anybody? 1, obviously. That's an obvious answer. So as recorded by GreenGrid and as awarded by Uptime on that installation, that particular data center delivered 1.04 PUE throughout the year. Right? So this probably is the kind of technological trend towards which the data center industry is going to migrate. Okay. We also provide consulting services. Anybody wants to work with Dell, hire the experienced people like myself and my colleagues, including global architects like Chansang, who can bring in their experience and help you design your facilities. We would be the most fortunate ones. Some of the infrastructures that me and my team have built in India are the first 3 tier 4 data centers for a financial institution. We have built almost 36,000 square foot, each side 3 of them, high density data centers for a telecom company. I have worked with some of the people who are attending here from BPCL, IOCL, HPCL also. So the kind of experience we carry, we can actually show the necessary value add that you will see in consultants like myself. We also use an advanced Six Sigma CFD software if we have to simulate the data center even before we build it, right? How many of us do such kind of scientific approaches when we want to build? All of us build and try to solve the problem after it is built, isn't it? Right? So Six Sigma, it's not only question of designing a new data center, I can also simulate your existing data center. 1U by 1U, I can build your data center and simulate some of the failures within the facility and see how exactly your data center is going to react, what kind of hotspots are there in your facility, and how can we solve those problems. So such kind of scientific methodologies can be used in order to overcome the challenges of building a new data center or overcoming the challenges of sustaining your existing infrastructure. This is a very interesting slide. It's very close to my heart. I would like to invite you people to describe this picture. Not you, Rohan. You asked this question in your presentation, so it's for all my friends here. I want you to give me a very nice, whatever comes to your mind, a description about this. We are in a data center forum and I am showing an iceberg. So in the interest of time, if we can make it more active, then we can share more jokes over a drink. So I welcome you. Anybody who want to give a nice description about this picture? How many of you have seen Titanic? Sorry? Nobody has seen? All of you have seen. तो हाथ उठाना फिर. Sorry? Absolutely. Glaciers are melting and we human beings are probably the biggest parasites in this earth, right? What else? What does it signify if I relate this to a data center? If you don't answer, then I'll ask one of you to answer then. Go ahead. Okay. Probably, according to me, why Titanic sank was that, the people who were watching could only see the ice which was on the surface. And they forgot that the ice below the water is much, much larger. And they tried to avoid, and they thought they avoided the iceberg. But the bottom of the ship actually hit the bottom of the iceberg. And then it poked holes into the ship and it ultimately sank. And today, the scenario in India or anywhere else in the world, for that matter, pardon me, Chansang, most of my clients today ask me, can you give me the best price from your side in terms of build of the data center? I would probably tell them, sir, my proposal to you is not in terms of best build, but in terms of best cost of ownership, right? Because if I build and then walk away, but you are going to sustain this data center and probably pay a huge operational bill, which will be much, much larger than the cost of the build itself. So if this is the cost of the build of a data center, this probably is the operational cost of the data center, which is going to serve you and probably your end customers also for over 10, 15 years, right? So I think all of us should adapt a principle of challenging consultants like myself to give you a design which is best cost of ownership. How many of you agree with me? Only one, two? I'm assuming all of you. Thank you. Okay, I'll skip this slide. This is a very interesting slide. The current, probably the factor that we use to measure the efficiency of our data center, as all of us know, is PUE, right? Power utilization effectiveness. How many of you measure PUE in your facilities? What is the kind of PUE you attain, sir?
It's like 1.7, 1.8.
Tropical countries of India, that should be probably the best figure, right? But in future, I think when carbon trading becomes more mandatory in developed countries and countries like India, this can become a factor of measurement, right? So probably it is the right time for us to know that it's not only PUE, it's also going to become CUE very soon. So if we are building a data center which is going to serve you for the next 10 years, let's keep this in mind, right? You may have to trade your carbon points with your customers or anybody else in the rest of the world. Okay, so we spoke about this. Companies like Dell, who manufacture IT equipments, will only preach one thing, right? If you are able to bring down the load of IT and make it more efficient in terms of virtualization, consolidation, and things like that, if I can bring down 1 watt of IT load, and data center people like me can actually reduce almost 3 times 3 kilowatt or 3 watts of power that is required for an infrastructure. So I would want to preach the point that, let us make things more efficient in terms of not only the infrastructure, but in terms of the IT equipments as well. And Dell is capable of doing that for all of you. This is one of the graphical pictures that I wanted to show you. This is a simulation of cold oil containment using the Six Sigma software, right? And the point that I am trying to drive here is, if I want to cool the chip, why do I want to cool the entire room, right? So let us give only the right quantum of air at the right temperature, but the sufficient quantum of air is provided in front of the IT equipment where it is actually needed, not in the rest of the room, right? So the rest of the room can be hot, but they do proper preventive maintenance, and auditing such facility for known and unknown devils inside your facility is most important, I would say. That's all from my end. Any questions? Probably over a drink. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. I would like to call my colleague, Mr. Pundarika Kakade, to spend some time with you on the network cabling services that we offer.